Boris Johnson has warned the European Union he will walk away from Brexit talks by the end of the week unless it drops attempts to punish Britain for leaving the bloc. During a tense three-hour standoff, the Prime Minister warned he would quit the trade and security talks unless Brussels drops its attempts to keep Britain wrapped up in red tape. The wrangling over the future relationship pact now teeters on the brink of collapse, with very large gaps between the two sides on future fishing rights and common standards. They met tonight at the EU executives' Berlaymont building in the Belgian capital. A senior number 10 source said, the Prime Minister and von der Leyen had a frank discussion about the significant obstacles which remain in the negotiations. Very large gaps remain between the two sides and it is still unclear whether these can be bridged. The PM and VDL agreed to further discussions over the next few days between their negotiating teams. The PM does not want to leave any route to a possible deal untested. The PM and von der Leyen agreed that by Sunday a firm decision should be taken about the future of the talks. Commission President Ms. von der Leyen said, "We had a lively and interesting discussion on the state of play across the list of outstanding issues. We gained a clear understanding of each other's positions. They remain far apart. We agreed that the teams should immediately reconvene to try to resolve these essential issues." One EU source said the Mrs. von der Leyen and Mr. Johnson were in good spirits during the dinner. They said both sides accept there is a long way to go before they can clinch a deal, but both sides believe it's still possible. As Mrs. von der Leyen posed for pictures with Mr. Johnson, the Commission boss ticked off the Prime Minister, warning him to keep distance and respect local COVID rules. After asking the Prime Minister to remove his mask, she added, "Then we have to put it back on. You have to put it back on immediately. You run a tight ship here, Ursula, and quite right too," Mr. Johnson responded. Earlier Brussels sources said it would take a Christmas miracle to break the deadlock as the bloc was plunged into a no-deal planning panic. EU insiders said the Prime Minister was invited to Brussels after deep disagreements flared between the two leaders in a phone call on Monday. Officials said leaders would demand the immediate publication of their contingency measures with the Brexit trade talks teetering on the brink of collapse.